What is meant by a compound meter? The beats are regularly divided into 3 equal parts. Or simply put, it's a simple meter multiplied by 3. In simple meters, the basic metric unit is divided evenly by 2. How is it divided in compound meters? And the answer is 3. Write the counts below each measure. We have a 6/8 time signature, and we're going to have 6 beats per measure. We take a look at the bottom. An eighth note receives 1 beat. We're going to count 6, and an eighth note receives 1 beat. This is considered a compound duple meter because 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Let's begin counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 beats in the measure. An eighth note receives 1 beat. We begin with the second measure now. 1, 2, because there are 2 eighth notes in a quarter note. Eighth note receives 1 beat. 3, 2 eighth notes go into a quarter note, so 4, 5. An eighth note, 6. We conclude this measure. We now take a look at the third measure. Observe the 16th notes. We're going to have to count differently now. 1 and circle, 2 and circle, 3 and circle. We have a quarter note, therefore 2 beats go into this quarter note because of the eighth note. 4 and 5 and circle, 6 circle, and circle. The eighth note is now cut in half. Instead of 1 full beat, we have a half a beat given to the 16th note and a half a beat given to the other 16th note. Once again, we check our work. We have 6 beats in this measure, and we conclude with our last measure. 1 and circle, 2 and circle, 3 circle, and circle. We have a dotted quarter note. 3 eighth notes go into a dotted quarter note. 4 and 5 and 6 and. 9/8 time signature, 9 beats per measure. An eighth note receives 1 beat. So we're going to start counting. 1 circle, 2 circle, 3 circle, 4 circle, 5 circle, 6 circle, 7 circle, 8 circle, 9 circle. That concludes the first measure. We check our work to see there are 9 beats in that measure. We now have dotted quarter notes, and there are 3 eighth notes for every dotted quarter note. We're going to count 1, 2, 3 circle, 4, 5, 6 circle, 7, 8, 9 circle. That concludes our second measure. We check our work. There are 9 beats in that measure. And now we go to the third measure. 1, 2 circle, 3 circle. Dotted quarter note receives 3 eighth notes. 4, 5, 6 circle, 7 circle, 8 circle, 9 circle. That concludes the third measure. We check our work, 9 beats again, and we conclude with our fourth and final measure. Observe, so we're going to count differently. 1 and circle, 2 circle, and circle, 3 and circle, 4 circle, and circle, 5 and circle, 6 and circle, 7 and 8 and 9 and circle. This concludes this exercise. I want to point out the difference between duple and triple. Here we have a duple compound versus here we have a triple compound. And you can see how it's broken into twos. That's a compound duple meter. In this example, it's broken into threes. 1, 2, 3. We have another breaking into threes here, and then another 3 beats here. This would be considered compound triple. You can subdivide this into a 1, 2, 3 count pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.